Welcome one and all to Dragon Ball Zeta, which is just Dragon Ball as you know it, but with a few changes and some more character writing. So, what if Bulma married Goku at the end of Dragon Ball? That's a question we asked a while back on this channel, and today we're going to cover how this butterfly effect transitions into the Super era of Dragon Ball's canon. As is customary, this video is part of a series, and the other episodes will be linked in the description and the pinned comment. Let's get into the show. So regarding Dragon Ball Super, we're only going to cover the arcs that are different because of the altered character relationships. So, starting with the God of Destruction arc. After the battle with Buu, the Z Fighters are kind of settled back into their lives once again, returning to their places at the start of the Buu saga. But, of course, with a few differences. Instead of being a farmer, Goku is mainly focused on his training, and more specifically training Goten and Trunks. Gohan is dating Videl, and also, as mentioned before, Goku's taught everyone the fusion dance because, he learned that in Otherworld. Vegeta is also getting more invested in the training of his daughter, Pepper. While she's not a Super Saiyan yet, she's extremely strong in her base form, mainly because of her android DNA. Apparently, 17 and 18, their modifications were also to their organic parts on a genetic and cellular level, so that would get passed down, not so much the mechanical bits. So, because Pepper is a Saiyan android hybrid, she has enhanced stamina and a more efficient metabolism. So as a funny quirk, she'd probably eat like a normal amount of food for a human, because if you average 18's metabolism with Vegeta's metabolism, you'd meet somewhere in the middle with like Pepper only needing to eat one hamburger and have one drink or something, Pepper would also probably have a really entertaining rivalry with Goten. It would echo Goku and Vegeta, but it'd be slightly different in that Goten doesn't really view her as a rival and just views her as his friend. So, she's chasing him around, asking him to spar with her, and he'd much rather play hide and seek or play with toys or something.
Goten, today is the day that I finally beat you. I challenge you to a duel.
But we just fought last week, Pepper.
A week is more than enough time. Prepare yourself.
Oh, but I just...
I'll let you in on a little secret, Goten. If a woman's ever mad at you, just do this.
I'll give you this flower if we can play hide and seek instead.
Wait a minute. You can't distract me. I will defeat you.
Oh, okay. So, if you don't want it, can I have it back?
No way. It's mine now. This isn't over, Goten.
Why'd she tell me to ask her to give it back?
And that's more or less Goten and Pepper's dynamic. It's completely unserious to contrast the more grounded rivalry that Goku and Vegeta have. Now, as much as we like to talk about Saiyans, we can't neglect to talk about the human characters in the next generation, or really, human character.
All right, Marin, summer prep school starts next week. Don't just pack your wrestling gear, you have to bring normal clothes, all right?
Oh, Mom. The Wrestling World Pro Camp starts next week.
You'll thank me when you're valedictorian. You can join the Junior Elite Circuit later this year if you do well at your studies.
But you said I could choose one camp this summer.
Well, Chi-Chi, you did say that she could choose one.
Oh, come on, Krillin, back me up on this. When I said that, I meant that she could choose from academic camps, not suplex slam school.
Oh, fine. I'll go to nerd camp.
Now, Marin, I expect at least 3 weeks worth of clean dishes. Understood?
And front row seats to your first match in the big leagues.
Yes! Time to grapple with the best of them.
Sadly, the non-Saiyan characters are kind of irrelevant in Dragon Ball power-wise, but at the end of the day, I still want to give Marin something to do in the story. As such, she would get a leading role in a lot of the slice-of-life episodes of Dragon Ball Zeta.
Hey, Goten, Trunks, you can't... Guys! Oh, that's it! I told you to sit still while I make lunch. Now the whole building's gone.
We're sorry, Marin.
And last but not least, we also have to talk about Vegeta and his family's dynamic. What it does with him being married to Android 18 is that it brings 17 into the Dragon Ball Super era's story much earlier. You know, so it doesn't feel like, oh, he just got dragged out of the mothballs because he was the one character we haven't thought about in a while.
Hey, Mom, how did you get Dad's attention?
I broke both his arms. After that, he was obsessed with me.
Yeah, it worked all right. But, Pepper, listen. Saiyans are weird, okay? They like having their arms broken. Normal guys, not so much.
Any man who cannot bear the wounds of courtship is unworthy of you, Princess. My mother shattered my father's ribs with a single kick. It was destiny.
You'd know all about that, wouldn't you, Veggie?
Get a room, you two.
Pepper, dear, try being nice to him. Or something. Maybe a present, instead of broken bones.
Then I will try this being nice thing.
So that, my friends, is a nice little snapshot of the kind of new dynamics that have been introduced in the story so far. You know, Dragon Ball Super has these pretty fun moments where they actually do slice of life content, and I wanted to bring my own spin to those sorts of situations. Now, some of you will probably say that Trunks was a little bit absent from those scenes and skits and whatnot, and that was very intentional because if you know, you know. There's a lot more for him to do coming up soon, so let's start getting into that. So the Battle of Gods event would more or less go the same really, with the only difference being that Goku has his crash out moment over Bulma getting smacked instead of Vegeta. Obviously he'd go Super Saiyan 3 and it would not be enough to actually do any appreciable damage to Beerus. You need a Super Saiyan God for that. They'd of course have to resort to doing the Super Saiyan God ritual, though in this time there's a minor difference. Since Vegeta and 18 have provided Pepper, the 6th Saiyan, for the ritual, it's possible to perform it right away. Since Goku is currently the strongest Saiyan, they opt to have him serve as the ritual's focus. As is expected, Goku performs so well that Beerus decides not to destroy Earth as he takes interest in Goku's power. While this arc doesn't change a whole lot, the return of Frieza has a few interesting shifts that I'd like to talk about. So what I would personally change in this arc is that it gets pretty much the whole cast that can fight involved in the battle with the Frieza Force. Because, you know, there were some suspiciously absent people that could have been a really big help had they showed up. So, you know, in this continuity, this is going to be the first time we get to see Gotenks. And also, as a fun bit, Androids 17 and 18 are going to come join the fight because Pepper snuck off to get in on the action, basically. And you could have a fun little scenario where she learns to use the Super Saiyan transformation in this fight. And of course, in this timeline, Gohan isn't out of shape or anything, but he's only marginally stronger than he was in the Buu Saga. So that's no match for Frieza, and he gets pretty seriously injured trying to fight Frieza, as he's the strongest person there at that point. This of course forces Goku and Vegeta to return from their training with Beerus and Whis. So, you know, Goku goes first and he beats the dog piss out of Frieza. He straight up embarrasses him without transforming at all. At least until Frieza uses his golden form, which in turn forces Goku to use his Super Saiyan Blue transformation that he's been working on. They'd be pretty evenly matched for the most part, but given what we know about Frieza's golden transformation, Frieza would run out of stamina before Goku does. And we all know Frieza, when stuff doesn't go his way, he tends to blow up whatever planet he's standing on, so that would happen. Here we can create a really good character moment for Goku, because one of his flaws is that when Goku thinks he's won, he lets his guard down. With the Earth destroyed, Whis would rewind time back to about, I don't know, say the halfway point of their fight. Then I could see Whis telling Goku to tag out with Vegeta so that Whis could teach Goku something. Specifically about letting his guard down in the middle of a fight. Something that Vegeta is much less prone to. Vegeta in turn would get a really great character moment here because, you know, We skipped over his Majin bit, but I think this is just as powerful.
The Saiyan race was avenged the day Kakarot broke you. But you still owe the prince's pound of flesh, Frieza. Know that your empire only stands because we allow it. Go to hell!
Vegeta gets to basically take revenge for all the shit that Frieza put him through his entire life. And I feel like that wasn't drawn up enough in the original canon. You know, you can think of all sorts of one-liners on that, but right here, I want to give Vegeta this win and let him keep it instead of rewinding time and having Goku steal it. You know, that felt kind of icky. Because Vegeta has to job for Goku so much whenever a new bad guy shows up, I want Vegeta to get a win and let him keep it, too. You know what I mean? The Universe 6 tournament remains largely unchanged, but the Goku Black Arc diverges pretty significantly due to the altered character relationships. The inciting incident plays out similarly, but with a much more emotionally devastating undertone. So future Bulma, with her limited resources, manages to create enough fuel for a one-way trip to the past. She gives Trunks notes for present Bulma to synthesize more fuel for a return trip, but before he can leave, Goku Black shows up.
This can't be. Are you really... How? No. You're not Goku. Who the hell are you?
I am Judgment, the fist that enforces divine will.
Trunks escapes with the time machine, giving Mai instructions to fuel it while he buys her enough time. During this, Trunks has to go and fight Goku Black, who looks just like his father, and that's another messed up moment for him. Even though Trunks is outmatched, he uses diversionary techniques like the multiform technique and smoke screens to hold off Goku Black just long enough to escape, but he gets pretty badly beaten up in the process. He decides to travel to a point, say about a decade or so after he appeared initially in the past, just to make sure that the Z Fighters would be strong enough to help him when he does decide to go back. Trunks appears at Capsule Corp unconscious, and Goku takes him to Bulma for physical treatment. Now there's of course the moment that when Trunks wakes up, he tries to attack Goku out of complete confusion. After he calms down, he begins telling them why he came back to the past. And he also gives Bulma the notes from her future self to start synthesizing fuel for the time machine. As the Z Fighters separate to prepare for their next fight, present Trunks and Goten are secretly observing Trunks, leading to a really great moment for present Trunks, who gets a glimpse of the warrior that he could one day become.
You there. You look just like Dad. Are you my younger brother?
Goten, your hair's sticking out of the hiding spot.
Oops.
Gohan once told me that he made an older version of me from the future, where everyone died. I never thought I'd get to meet you.
Wow. I thought Mom just made an older clone of you or something.
So, what happened in your future?
Where I came from, we lost to the androids. And Mom, she sent me back in time to make sure we won. And we did. It's why you were born. What's your name?
I'm Goten. This is so cool. Now I have two big brothers.
Yeah, I guess so. Goten.
Keep in mind that in this timeline, present Trunks kind of has middle child syndrome. Gohan's better academically and he's basically being set up to be the CEO of Capsule Corp. And Goten is like this super prodigy that's always kind of been stronger than him. So naturally he gets a lot more of Goku's attention during training. This leaves present Trunks kind of rudderless and unsure of where he wants to go or even what he likes to do. Until now.
So, why go so far to save the world when it wouldn't save your own? The story of your world makes me feel really sad that things went that way.
Because life is worth fighting for, no matter what. Think about everything you love, and imagine a world where you can never have it again. I still have things in the future that I care for. A woman named Mai. She is why I'm still fighting.
Wait, Mai? black hair, kinda weird. She's in my class.
What a coincidence. Either way, the point still stands. Find something you care about and protect it with everything you have. Even if you have to give up whatever's left of you to do it.
Something I care about.
This relationship present Trunks starts building with his future self is what's going to make him into a fully fledged, actually interesting character. Future Trunks is way more interesting than present Trunks, so I want to fuse them together into one character through present Trunks. He can finally have a path that's distinct from Gohan's and Goten's. So now that Future Trunks is back, he brings up the point of how strong Goku Black is, so he decides to train with his father, Goku. Future Trunks is already pretty strong. He's like a high-end Super Saiyan 2 tier of fighter, which is good in a vacuum, but given the threats that they're dealing with, it's not enough. Eventually, Goku Black would track Trunks back to the past, and Goku would step in to fight him. Now, I think Goku Black would still damage the time machine because that's specifically why he came to the past, because he doesn't want Trunks returning to interfere with what he's doing. But as in canon, there's no reason that Bulma wouldn't keep the spare time machine that Cell came to the past in. So naturally, Bulma would get to repairing that extra time machine and getting it ready to take the squad back to fight Goku Black. With more spare time on their hands, we get more character moments here. So Gohan would hear that Future Trunks has come back and he would pop over to Capsule Corp. So, at this point in the story, Gohan and Videl are married, and Videl would either be pregnant or have just had Pan. So I guess in this case you get a great scene where Trunks gets to meet his niece. While Bulma works on repairing the time machine, Goku, Vegeta, Beerus, and Whis visit Universe 10 to investigate Goku Black's key signature. Mainly at the request of Whis, who notices a lot of weird things about Goku Black when he watches the fight. So during their short Universe 10 visit, Goku and Zamasu have their little sparring match, and Whis takes note and basically confirms that Goku Black has the same key signature as Zamasu. As for the extra bit where Zeno basically summons Goku, I'm gonna cut that because I don't like the Zeno button. That feels like a stupid get out of jail free card. Let's cut that. So this means that when Goku, Vegeta, Whis, and Beerus return to Earth, Bulma is more or less finished with the time machine. So naturally, the squad travels to the future and they try to take down Goku Black. But Goku Black is much stronger now because he learned a lot from fighting Goku and watching him. So this means that basically the squad gets overwhelmed. Goku and Vegeta have their hands tied fighting Goku Black, and Trunks, while he's probably a little stronger than Zamasu, he can't do any damage to him because Zamasu's immortal, so it's kind of like a wash. They eventually run out of stamina more or less and have to make a hasty retreat back to the past. So, back at Capsule Corp in present day, the Z-Fighters elect to do the Super Saiyan God ritual on future Trunks. Then they of course spend time getting Trunks able to use the form effectively so he can use the Super Saiyan Blue transformation. Gohan even offers to join the next mission and help out how he can, but Goku would refuse because they need strong fighters left on Earth in case they fail, because this could go sideways really easily.
Hey Dad, maybe I should come with you this time around. I've been working out with Lapis as of late and I've gotten way stronger.
Sorry, Gohan, but we need you to stay behind. There's a serious chance that we fail. We need you here in case we don't come back.
So, they return to the future and take another shot at Goku Black and Zamasu. Even though all three of them have gotten stronger in their own ways during that training arc, Goku and Vegeta versus Goku Black is not quite enough. Vegeta goes down first and Goku has to use Kaioken Blue transformation to keep up with Goku Black. And in this scuffle, Goku manages to pretty badly injure Goku Black. But as a result, he's just completely out of stamina. Trunks, on the other hand, is fighting Zamasu, and now he's way stronger than Zamasu. But again, the whole immortality thing is making the fight a lot more difficult than it should be. While Goku and Vegeta recover with their Senzu Beans, Goku Black has moved to fight Trunks. But since he's weakened from his injury, Goku Black struggles and Trunks nearly manages to kill him until Zamasu intervenes, taking the blow and handing Goku Black one of his Potara earrings. They become fused Zamasu, and this forces Trunks to basically run for his life. Just before fused Zamasu lands a killing blow on Trunks, Gogeta Blue shows up and takes over the fight. Gogeta tells Trunks to get the time machine ready so they can escape. Even though Gogeta Blue is weaker than fused Zamasu, Gogeta's a much better fighter, and it keeps the fight kinda even since it's kind of a battle now of raw power versus refined skill. Gogeta tries to use the Spirit Bomb to finish off Zamasu, but he realizes that there's not enough life energy left on Earth to make a Spirit Bomb powerful enough to kill Zamasu. Since Zamasu is immortal and they're all out of options, Gogeta has to cut his losses and run away with Trunks back to the past. This is where the Z Fighters begin strategizing on how to defeat an immortal enemy. Master Roshi proposes using the Mafuba, and Goku agrees. So Roshi trains Goku and Trunks in the technique while Vegeta trains Solo in the gravity room with a few Senzu beans. During the Mafuba training, Trunks raises the concern that sealing fused Zamasu will require immense energy, and Roshi explains that the Mafuba works best on spirits rather than physical bodies. Goku asks how to seal the soul of an immortal, prompting Roshi to question the nature of Zamasu's immortality. Trunks would explain to Roshi that Zamasu is not invulnerable, so he still takes damage but he regenerates nearly instantly. Goku compares that to Buu and Cell, suggesting that if they can destroy Zamasu's body even temporarily, they might be able to trap his soul in the Mafuba while his body is reforming. This leads to the idea of using a spirit bomb to destroy his body. However, of course, due to the ruined state of Trunks' future, there's not enough ambient energy for a traditional spirit bomb. Trunks proposes a solution. By focusing the energy of the spirit bomb into his sword, it's all concentrated on one point, so you don't need that much energy to do serious damage. They all agree, and on top of the Mafuba training, Goku is also teaching Trunks how to use the spirit bomb. Once everybody is ready with the plan, they finalize it and then go back to the future. It's high risk and demands perfect coordination, but it's their only shot at defeating an immortal enemy. So, they go to the future again, and Goku and Vegeta perform the fusion dance, and Trunks hides his ki while he prepares the sealing jar. While Gogeta and Zamasu are fighting, Trunks also prepares a spirit bomb with what little energy is left on Earth and in the surrounding solar system. So, after Gogeta manages to exhaust Zamasu in their fight, Gogeta gives the signal and Trunks powers up and charges in with his spirit bomb infused into his sword. Gogeta and Trunks have this handoff moment where Trunks tosses the jar to Gogeta and Gogeta flies down to the ground to begin the Mafuba, while Trunks comes in out of nowhere and basically backstabs Zamasu to begin the process. So as Trunks cuts Zamasu in half, you can see his spirit exiting his body. Gogeta then raises his ki and starts forcing Zamasu's soul into the jar, but at the last second, Gogeta defuses and it disrupts the Mafuba ritual. Goku tries to keep it steady, and he does for the most part, but the disruption of defusing throws Goku's ki control off, and he can't hold his Super Saiyan Blue form at the same time as maintaining the Mafuba. So Zamasu's soul starts resisting the seal because just Super Saiyan Blue Goku by himself isn't enough energy to force him into the jar. So Trunks jumps in and helps Goku stabilize the technique, and Vegeta, he gets back up on his feet and transforms and forces as much of his energy as possible into Trunks and Goku. Between the three of them, they're able to use enough energy to force Zamasu into the jar and then seal it, saving the day. Sort of. The world's been destroyed and basically everyone on Earth is dead at this point. So, Goku offers to take future Trunks to New Namek to use those Dragon Balls. They make 3 wishes. The first wish is to restore Earth's infrastructure and ecosystem. The second wish is to wish back everyone killed by the androids. And then the third wish is to bring back everyone killed by Goku Black and Zamasu.
I wish we got to see each other again under better circumstances, little buddy. Remember, I'll always be with you in spirit.
Of course. Thanks for everything, Dad. Really.
Oh, and if any more strong guys show up, come and get me. That was the craziest fight I've ever been in.
I want future Trunks to end on a high note because this is going to be the last time we see him. So let him restore his timeline to its former glory and then live on as its protector from that point forward. Meanwhile, Beerus and Whis make a courtesy call to Gowasu and Zamasu.
He needs some milk!
Okay, so while my favorite arc in Super is the Tournament of Power, pacing aside, very little would change in this Zeta timeline. The character relationships of course would be slightly different, but other than that, the actual events of the tournament would not change that much. We'd still more or less have the same roster. We'd still have Goku figuring out the Ultra Instinct transformation, and we'd probably still have Android 17 coming in with the save at the last second. Bulma being Goku's wife doesn't change a whole lot, since she doesn't have much to do in this particular arc. But I would be remiss to neglect the arrival of Bulma as Goku's daughter.
That was amazing. Next time, let's see if I can handle Super Saiyan 3.
Hey, Bulma?
You wanna go again or something?
I exploded the condom.
Oh, motherfucker!
Outside of that, the same more or less goes for the Broly movie and the superhero conflict, with the only changes in the superhero movie being that we get a combined Kamehameha with Gohan, Goten, and Trunks to defeat Cell Max. And as a fun side note, Bulma is of course still wishing for frivolous cosmetic enhancements, but now the motivation is slightly different. It's less vanity and more to maintain her youth longer because of how slowly Goku is aging at this point. The end cap on this whole scenario will be the end of Z era. This is where the next generation of Z fighters starts to come into their own as fully fledged characters. So Gohan would be the CEO of Capsule Corp, and he would also moonlight as the Great Saiyaman. Trunks would lean into that kind of heroic identity that he gets from future Trunks and become the leader of the Capsule Corp Earth Defense Force. Now here's an interesting one. Goten would be a space travel streamer and YouTuber, and also of course would train on the side. This in turn would make him the direct successor to Goku's legacy. Now, given Bulma's personality, I can see her being kind of a teen pop star slash actress. That just seems like something that would fit her. And you know, given her interest in fashion, it just seems like a place that she would go eventually as she develops as a character. Now, with Goku's influence, she'd also be somewhat of a fighter. She might get up to Super Saiyan, but I think that's about as far as she would go given what we've been shown of her personality. Pepper would probably be a mixture of like a world tournament participant because she'd be going and winning all these tournaments whenever they happen. But she'd also probably be like a fitness influencer or a martial arts influencer, and she'd regularly appear on Goten's streams. I think she would get into the kind of influencer space primarily because of her rivalry with Goten. And Marin, I would have as a pro wrestler and Moonlight as a superhero. And that, my friends, is Dragon Ball Zeta. While we've covered the bulk of the canon anime, there's not really enough material left to do any more 30 to 40 minute videos. However, there's still plenty of content. As such, from now on, I'm going to be making Dragon Ball Zeta content from time to time as short voiced skits, basically. As for my long form content, there are other anime out there that I want to talk about and discuss with everybody, so I hope you all look forward to that. Until then, I'll see you all next time, whenever that is.